It's Tuesday, and you all know Tuesday is my favorite time of the week. And I just, give you a recap on my day. So my day started at 5:30, um, and so I'm up and I'm about. And today was like a busy day because I had my lunch and learn, and so lunch and learn today was about writing about your business. I'll tell you exactly what it is because I can never remember. Because I make it a point not to keep things in my memory once they're over, because I don't want to have to do replays. So tomorrow is a new day, and so I'll just check my calendar and see how my life is going to go. So today we did a lunch and learn, which was Right to Grow Your Business, and that was by Stephanie Gunning, who is a ghostwriter and a very good one at that. She's written a ton of books, and so she shared with us how to write a book in a few days, a few weeks. And I asked her, why was it that people took like years to write a book? And she said, because they allow their brain to get in the way of their production. So that's why it takes them a million years to write a book. Anyway, I had a great week. I'm going on vacation. On Saturday. I will be in Curacao. I'm in the space of, yeah, I want to go. No, I don't want to go. Yeah, I want to go. No, I want to go, like cowbell. Anyway, so I'm going on vacation, and hopefully I'll have a really good time. No, I'll have a good time. I'm going to have an awesome time. So anyway, less of me and more. Look how thin I'm looking. It's looking really good there, man. Whoa, girl, work it. That's the keto. That's the keto diet. I've been doing keto and intermittent fasting now for nearly 3 months, and I've lost 20 pounds. And I told you last week my diabetes is down, but that's a really good thing. And my blood pressure's down. Everything is coming back to normal. The girl is getting herself together. So tonight, I have Mr. Stefan Stark from Stark. Say it, Stefan, because you know I'm going to mess up.
Starking. .biz. It's starking.biz. Beautiful good evening, everybody.
Yes. So Stefan is a cyber security individual, but I brought him on the show because I met, when did we meet? Like
probably like 2.5 weeks ago.
Is it?
Roughly.
I feel like it was forever ago. Yeah, I met Stefan 2.5 weeks ago at a networking event at HSBC Bank. And HSBC Bank, right?
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce, HSBC.
Yes, the Chamber of Commerce, HSBC Bank, and HSBC Bank opened up. They were like unleashing or launching their new HSBC card, right?
Yeah.
So they had all kinds of nosh there, all kinds of people, and Stefan was one of the people that I met, and I really hit it off with him. I really enjoyed talking with him. We had a really good time. And I just thought, like, I'd love to have him on the show to talk about how he got into cyber security. And so meet Stefan, everyone. Stefan, say hey to the
Hey,
people.
beautiful good evening. So to answer your question, I got into cybersecurity. I got my first computer when I was around 7. And I started to be an entrepreneur right away. I actually bought my first computer game. A friend couldn't afford it, so I actually kind of cracked it and sold it to him. Cheaper.
So you cracked it. Did you bootleg it or something?
I basically removed the copy protection, and then I actually sold it to him. That was my first business venture when I was 7. So
7 years old. Can you imagine that?
And then I just grew up with the technology. Everything that came onto the market, like the first CD-ROM, etc., I just bought it and learned how it works.
I was going to say, what was the name of the game? But I guess you can't really say that, right? You can't tell me that.
What?
The name of the game that you cracked open. I can't believe that you cracked that open at 7 years old. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it was an Amiga game from Amiga 500.
Right.
And it was a nice game.
Yeah, but 7. I mean, my God, at 7, I didn't even know if I was on the planet.
Yeah. It was actually called.
You were pretty smart at 7?
No, I think just computers are logic. They don't do anything you don't want them to do. It's just
at
0
7,
and 1.
It's like 7 logic.
Yeah.
Like at 7, I was like sucking my thumb and waiting for dinner. That's really great. So go ahead.
Yeah. So then basically, the hacker philosophy is that people say is only if you understand the system to its fullest, you can make changes. If you don't understand what you're doing, you can make things work in a different way.
Like me and my social media.
So yeah, then basically growing up, you become the go-to person because you spend day and night in front of these things. You're the first one who has a CD-ROM, a DVD.
Did you buy all this stuff for yourself?
The first CD-ROM actually we bought with 4 people together because it was just that expensive, and every blank CD was about $20. So if you break one during like the writing process, people were crying because $20 in the 80s was a lot of money for kids.
And you were Harold then?
Maybe 13, 14,
okay,
roughly like that. So maybe even maybe between 10 and 15, roughly like that.
So it's like exactly. a CD-ROM was that little round thing,
that
right?
was the first thing ever.
Right, and now you can get them in big buckets.
Yeah, it costs nothing.
And nobody really uses them now.
No, it's just a dead technology. Nobody wants it anymore. It's too
Maybe we could use and make them into earrings.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put them on a mirror, and it's actually a myth. It doesn't help you for not getting lasered by the police. So people put these things on a mirror because they think it reflects the laser. It does not. So,
so that's some crazy talk.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
So you 7, you cracked the code for your Omega. 13, you were using CD-ROMs to write. Do you write programs and things?
I learned it a little bit, but I just didn't like it. For me, it was easier to take things apart, see how they work, like reverse engineer them and either make them better or change things. That was what I really enjoyed. Because writing a program, you have to compile it. And if there's an error, you search sometimes in the stack, and I got bored of that. I was more like break it, look how it works, and make it better. So.
Break it.
Yeah, take it apart. Open it up, see how it works, and make it better. That's progress. Yeah.
So now tell me, like, where were you born? Because you have this big old accent.
Yeah, so my main accent obviously is from Germany. You can hear this from an airplane. And then I just grew up and traveled to different countries. And then I finally got stuck here, and I really like it.
What do you mean you got stuck here?
No, I mean, I love it. I think it's a great country. It still gives you all the opportunities you want if you're just willing to work for it. And it's the American dream. Everybody can still make it if you want to.
And what are some of the countries that you've been to?
That I've been to, I've been in probably like 40 countries. But my most favorite countries when it comes to basically food is, of course, Italy, France, Germany, Spain. Some parts of Africa that I tried was really nice food. I mean, Latin America, there's just, I just go by the food. So
you're a foodie?
Yeah, I like food, good food.
You told me that you had lost a lot of weight. I find it very hard to believe. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. I was like kind of almost like 50% more than I had, and I was playing soccer, and I literally collapsed after 10 minutes, and I was crawling off the field on all 4, and I was like, oops, I have to do something. So
you were a fat soccer player.
Yeah, that's why, the goalkeeper doesn't have to run that much. You just have to stand there.
Is that what you were doing? You were the goalkeeper? Oh, God.
Yeah, the goalie was like my favorite position because everybody brings you the ball. You don't have to run after it.
They don't technically bring you the ball.
To a certain extent, you just have to snatch it somehow. So.
All right. So how long have you been in the United States?
Roughly 20 years on and off, yeah.
So tell me, like, I just want to know, like, what is it that you like about cyber stuff?
It's more, I think for me, it's more like the Robin Hood thing. So you can utilize everything that you can take in your hand to a good or to a bad way. And I think my Achilles heel is I like to help people. So what I like about it is how convenient it can make your life. But then also everybody gets high technology. Not everybody's technology savvy. So a lot of people are totally overwhelmed by just doing the basic things. And if you don't know what you're doing, there's always a bad guy looking for your mistake and abusing it. And so I like that the cybersecurity, you can actually reverse engineer a book and then just convert it into a technical training for people and to break it down to like black and white. I educated a class of housewives how a computer worked by giving an example of cooking a dish, and they understood how a computer works.
Now, there's one thing I wanted to ask you. So, they have the hackers, they have the white hackers and the black hackers. Yeah. Right? Were you ever a hacker or anything like that?
A white one, yeah.
And you were a white hacker. So what's the black hacker? Is that the bad hacker? Why you gotta be black?
No, I think the terminology changed. So years ago, calling somebody a hacker was actually for people like me an offense, because hackers find a security issue and report them. A cracker breaks systems, abuses them, and either steals money, erases data, and the terminology was never used correctly. And then later on, that kind of changed to black hat and white hat, or like hacker.
Black hat, white hat.
Yeah, usually the white hats are the good guys, and
Right.
I mean, there's also certain other things. So the terminology, but I think in general, it's just a fight between good and evil always.
Okay.
So.
All right. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back because I want to talk more about the hacking business.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Did you know you've been playing poker your whole life, even if you've never played a hand of cards? Hi, I'm Ellen Lakin, author of Poker Woman and host of the new show, Poker Divas. On the show, I talk about how poker strategy helps you win in business, life, and love. Tune in live every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network. Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, on talkradio.nyc.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
So we were talking about, it was bad cracker.
Yeah, bad cracker.
Hacker cracker.
Yes,
Now it's white hat, black hat.
Yeah.
Right.
More,
It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd like the cracker better. Like, a bad cracker, good cracker.
Yeah, they can also call them like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. I mean, they would do the same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or Humpty and Dumpty. You could call it anything you wanted to. So now I want to know what makes somebody a bad hat, a black hat. Why would somebody want to be a black hat?
In general, somebody would be considered a person that violates the law if you consider seeing an exploit and just abusing it. So, for example, when I flew here last night, I was on the plane, and the woman next to me put her credit card on the table, and she opened her laptop, signed in. I saw, if I would just take in my phone and hold it like this, she wouldn't even notice. I could have seen a Gmail account. I could see how to log in. I see a credit card information. I saw everything she did. And so I was making her aware of it, and I gave her my card, obviously. But if I would have taken these information, went home, exactly, and we're like shopping. I'm not giving details how to do that.
No.
But so yeah, that would make me a bad person.
Right.
In the IT world.
So basically what I'm hearing is that when we are in public spaces and we're using our credit cards, our phones, our computers, we need to be extremely mindful.
Yes. Everything you do is basically visible. Because it doesn't really matter what you do on a computer. Think about every single piece of data that you do is a little bird that's flying around here right now. We are actually right now surrounded by packages, and you can...
What do you mean packages?
Data is sent in small little envelopes, like data packages. So So when you send an email, it's a little envelope. And if you receive an email, you get a little envelope. But the person who captures the email can capture left and right on the envelope something called a header, and it has more information in it. So you can reverse engineer stuff. Or when you go on a plane's Wi-Fi, which is great, you can be mobile, work from everywhere, but then you can also connect to the Wi-Fi me, and I can say like scan everybody is on the network. I see everybody's computer. And if you don't hide yourself with a VPN, which is an encrypted connection, I can tell my computer, okay, take Peter's MacBook. Usually people give their name like Adam's MacBook, whatever. I can say capture every single piece of data coming from this machine, and I could see if he goes to Facebook, if his Dropbox is synchronizing, or whatever he does. So you see basically certain things if he uses an encrypted email account, stuff like that. So, and then you just abuse the data, or you just even visually shoulder surf, see what he does, look him over the shoulder, etc., and then just abuse these information to get into his life. And a lot of people put out information that they're not aware of.
Oh, damn. You're making me scared. I was talking to somebody, I think 2 weeks ago, and they started talking about how bad hackers or black hat people are holding banks and their information ransom until they pay a certain amount of money, and then they release it. Now, these banks don't have to report that they have been held hostage. Is this true? Or am I making this up? Or is this, did I interpret the guy's information incorrectly?
Let me put an answer in a different way, and you can draw the conclusion. So if you have a bank that has the latest technology for your online banking, you can utilize lowercase, uppercase, symbols, and numbers. That means you have the latest server technology and you have encryption that is behind it. If your online bank doesn't allow you to use certain symbols, numbers, stuff like that, and only like word and numbers, that means it's an old server technology, and that it most likely that some companies that have older technologies, most likely smaller banks, maybe subject to being hacked.
And how often does like those institutions, the banks, the governments, and people like that, how often do they have to keep updating?
Every 90 minutes. Yeah, you have around about 3,000 threats a day, just if it comes to viruses, and you have viruses, spyware, malware, ransomware. But these are more like computer-based programs. There's different kinds of hacking. You can hack a machine and you can hack a human being. So what I do is called social engineering. So my specialty is hacking people, not hacking machines. I mean, it is like in a movie, people sitting there in a dark room and sending programs out, and you have to open them in order to be infected, and then somebody can encrypt your data and steal it, and just gives you a Bitcoin account where you have to send money to.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what
exactly.
You said. Yeah.
So yeah, that's most of the time ransomware. So
ransomware. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right. And so ransomware, yes, that's what everyone didn't interpret it properly, but I kind of got the gist of what they were talking about. So every 90 minutes, a corporation has to.
The programs do this automatically.
Right.
So usually you can set it manually, but most of the protection software, antivirus, et cetera, is cloud-based, and they have a certain time set when they actually pull the latest updates. And corporations, when they're bigger institutions, they usually do this every 90 minutes.
And every 90 minutes. So like, so how often do they have to, it's every 90 minutes, but like what's my word that I'm trying to, how am I trying to think about this? I'm trying to think about this in the sense that how up to date do they have to be? Like,
I think it's impossible. Think about you buy the latest iPhone or whatever phone. You walk out of the store, it's literally old. I mean, these things being released like faster than you can actually save the money for. And it's the same thing with technology. Every day, somebody finds another loophole, a security hole. And so
that's people's job. That's some people's job, right? To find the loopholes.
That's the bad guys' jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $1 billion industry. I mean, think about if you take the United States, the population of the United States, if you have only 1% of the people clicking on your virus, and only from the 1%, half of them pays you $100. So then you basically have made a lot of money.
Right.
And so that's why these scams getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because people don't have the knowledge how to see the difference from the one to the other.
Right.
To differentiate if a phishing email is from the boss or not, because people also don't know where to look. And so this is when we start to educate corporations and employees, because the weakest part of the chain of security is the human being, because you can put a firewall or antivirus in somebody's head.
No.
You have to educate them. And then you also have people will forget over time what they just learned. And
oh God, in the moment I walk away from the computer, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like, this is so weird. Yesterday, it was the first time I turned on my radiator, my thermostat for the year, right? So every year it goes like this. Oh, I have to turn on my heating, click, right? Or button press, whatever. So it's like, oh, I have to freaking reset the thing. I have to reset it, right? So yes, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And I have to go into the email, go into like YouTube, find my thermostat, and then find something that's going to describe it. But anyway, this year I found the reset button in my thermostat. It's only been on my wall like 5 years, right? I found the reset button. So I had to reset it, and then I had to go to set it up. And then I couldn't do it because it was just too much. So I froze to death the first night. And then yesterday I figured it out. I took my time. I took the information and I slowly did it and I set it up. It worked. Now I've got heating. I went into my apartment today and it's warm. I'm so happy. But it's because I forget. You know,
Yes.
I do it once a year and it's done. I don't have to do it again until the next year and I forget. So, you know, imagine it's kind of like that with my computer too. I will set up an email password, which I kind of use the same one all the time.
Yeah, you should.
And I just kind of rotate them around. How often should we change those?
Okay, so when it comes to passwords, obviously
I'm asking the little things. He's a big guy. He's the big kahuna in this technology, but I'm bringing it down to street level.
So when it comes to passwords, right, we are all creatures of habit. And then every time I give a speech somewhere and I explain about passwords, and there's one guy goes like, yeah, I do that. And I was like, I don't want to know that. And then so basically a password should always be like lowercase, uppercase symbols, and at least like an expression mark, whatever you want to do, and then at least 16 characters. And obviously, if you can't remember them all because it's just too many, do not make a document on your phone or on your computer where you write down, oh, my password list, because if I steal your stuff, that's the first thing I'm actually looking at. So
I'm fucked. I'm totally screwed.
Yeah, see, that's what I meant with like, don't say it. So I actually tell people, if somebody takes your phone, what is the most likely thing people don't look at? Create a contact in your phone, name it whatever name you prefer. And then under the notes of the phone, you can put into the notes the information. So only somebody who really has time to go over 1,000 contacts will look at that, but otherwise not. And then
oh, snap.
don't use all the passwords for them. I mean, if you consider your email account, what stuff is connected to your email account? If I get into your email account, I probably get to Amazon or maybe eBay, PayPal, whatever it is,
Audible,
online banking.
Online banking.
Exactly. So if you have one password for everything, exactly, then everything is basically possibly to be jeopardized. And then if you change different passwords and never answer security questions the way it is, because if I social engineer you and I run into you on purpose that I see in your garbage you have a cat because you throw out cat food, for example. I run into you and strike up a conversation with a small kitten. I was like, yeah, I just bought this cat. You will empathize. And then you basically talk about your cat. And if I ask for your cat's name, that's also your security question. Then, so never answer them honestly. If somebody said, what is your favorite teacher's name? Just whatever, write Corvette or Porsche, whatever you can remember.
I'm screwed again.
So, yeah, don't answer these questions with questions that somebody can guess easily about you.
So screwed.
Okay,
I've got a list. I've got my teacher's name. I've got the cat's name.
So you know what you change tonight when you get home. So, yeah.
If you're listening to this call and you too have a list of all your passwords and your cat and your teacher and all the security questions, where you went to school, where did you spend what year did you spend 2010 in New York, where all of those questions, call in at 877-480-4120. We've also got a treat for you. So now you mentioned when we were just talking earlier about somebody reading over your shoulder or hovering, or how can we prevent that?
Yeah, so I came up with an idea. I took an existing product and I just made it better. And I mean, everybody knows
Well,
privacy
tell
screens.
us how you did it. Like, I love the story. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, so the idea is when people used to have privacy screens on their computers or screens, they use double-sided tape. And that's how it always have been. And technology changed. So computers have built-in magnets in the lid. So I came up with the idea of just making these things metallized so they adhere without any glue. And so
How did you come up with that idea?
we actually had a laptop that we closed and it stuck something in between and we noticed that something is magnetic. And the initial idea of adhering screens is from somebody in 2014, but he didn't finish the entire idea of thinking it through how to do it. And we just took it, make it better, and made a product out of it, and we patented it. And
Right.
then,
So it's like the 3M effect, the glue and the da-da-da.
Yeah,
You all know that. I'm not going to go
that's
into the whole
yeah,
story.
that's the company who invented the original technology. A privacy screen was from 3M, and so yeah, we just made it better, and so we have this privacy screen that is shock absorbent. It has no fingerprints, no glare. It has a blue light filter which protects your eyes.
Yeah,
and
tell them about the blue light filter, because that is really important.
Yeah, so the biggest issue right now with adults and childs mainly is that they have lack of sleep, because blue light, which is also in our daily light, keeps you awake. And it can also do issues to your sleeping behavior, etc. And so we minimize this by adding a filter, and we can minimize the effect of blue light into your eyes.
Right. So it gets into your eyes and it attaches to.
It tells you your optical nerve in your brain, your optical nerves in your brain. It tells you like, hey, it's sunshine, it's daytime, you're still awake.
Right.
And so that's why kiddies are always awake and can't go to sleep right away if they're supposed to.
So basically, you could take away your kid's phone at night so they can go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I need a mummy to take away my phone at night too, so I can go to sleep. So on that note, we're going to be right back. And we'll be right back in with more information. This is great.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
The best designs for your life start at home. I'm David Thiergartner, interior designer and host of At Home. Listen live Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as we talk to the very best professionals about interior design and the design that's all around us, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
And we're back. This is Noreen Sumter on Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way. And I'm speaking to Stefan Leipold.
Right.
So, Stefan, we were talking about we have a caller.
Hello.
Hello, Jessica. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. So you said That's so smart. Great advice. So go ahead. What's your question?
So, okay, I have a question regarding the camera on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at home, when I have my laptop and I have the web, it comes with the webcam, I usually cover it. But I was wondering how easy is it to have somebody hack your phone and actually do the same via your camera phone? And should we be more careful about the way our camera phones, are positioned, or, is it possible that someone can hack the cameras that easy?
The answer is yes and no. Hi, Jessica. So if you would say you have an iPhone and the iPhone is out of the box, it's not jailbroken, and you don't use a third-party app store, then it's not that easy, only for federals. Usually, if they have a really severe case and threat, then yes, you can buy basically camera shutters. A totally different story is when you have a third-party thing or you rooted your Android phone, because a lot of people want to bypass paying for apps, and then they take these third-party apps from a free store by not even knowing who actually programmed these apps and if there are backdoors in it. So once you do this, you're pretty much exposed, and everything on your phone, including the camera, can be remote controlled if some bad guy actually put something in there.
Does that answer your question?
That's good to know. Yeah.
I
Great
always say,
question.
Gotta watch out for those apps.
I always say that my thing is, God, I'm not that important. That's, the government's going to be watching me, because people say things like, oh, the government can listen to you and they can watch you. And I'm like, really? The government wants to spend their good time and energy watching me? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, right? So, and then there's also, thank you, Jessica, so much.
Thank you so
for your
much, Jessica.
question. So, I have Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
I love Alexa. I don't know. Is it a good thing to love her or not?
See, I haven't taken that thing apart, but it's permanently listening. And even if they say the Alexa is not permanently listening,
she's always listening.
She is always listening, because sometimes you drop certain words. The one hotel I was at, they had in the lobby Alexa, and I actually said something that was not meant for Alexa, and Alexa started like replying, and I was like, I didn't even say, Alexa, just do something for me. And so I'm not sure if, Alexa is not the government. It's a privately held company. It's a public company, actually. So same as the Google thing and now the Apple thing. So these are private companies. If they are listening, collecting data, I personally think they might do. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're collecting data, because she wants to serve me.
Yeah.
She wants to serve me. So she wants to know what I'm talking about or what I'm thinking about. But the thing about it, you could even just say, Alex, and how can I help you? Or like some craziness. What do you need or whatever? But I love it. So you haven't taken that part yet?
No, and I think it's probably very well protected, the core, etc. So, and I think you also, once you take this thing apart, and you might gonna open the doors for a lot of lawsuits.
So you're gonna leave that one alone?
Yeah, my passion is more like finding bad guys.
But the thing about it is, Alexa they're collecting data, but it's not really like they're collecting data on the layperson.
No, they don't definitely not take your bank account information. No. Stuff like that. It's definitely not. No.
But it is on there. Like I do have. We're not going to say anymore.
Yeah. We can talk about privacy screens.
All right. So let's talk about your private. Why don't you show us what you have and show us what's on offer?
Yeah. So
I'm sweating.
Even if you watched. Can see it right now.
With the envelopes and the Alexa and the listening and I'm screwed. I'm just totally screwed.
So this is basically what it comes in. If you can see it, so it's a little envelope. It has a pouch where you can put the stuff in, and a cleaning cloth, and so that's a privacy screen. It looks like a regular privacy screen, but it's not. So this part here is fully flexible, and it's we found a way of making PU, what is a leather look, metallized, so it is actually magnetic without having metal. And so
what model is that for?
That's for the MacBook. It's a 12-inch MacBook. And then usually you can see the camera through here, and we have a slider to open
Where
it.
can you see the camera?
Usually there is a hole for the camera here.
Right,
I can slide this over a little bit, and then it's in the fall, so you can open and close the cameras, and you can put it on, and you can take it off whenever you want it, or you don't want it, and you can close the laptop with having this thing attached, the privacy screen. And
without any obstructions.
Yeah, without taking it. So it doesn't do anything negative to your laptop. Even better, a lot of laptops, when you carry them around, the lid presses against the keys. So your display will have scratches from the keys, and that will also be avoided because it goes onto the privacy screen. If people call in, we want to give away a privacy screen for MacBooks, for iPhones, and one of these great stock caps in red or white.
What do they have to do to get one of those?
Just call us a question.
So call in. No, let's do it like they do at the radio channels, right? Like, so the fifth caller that I know there are people listening in the background. So if you're the fifth caller that calls in with a question, you win a privacy screen. And let's say the third caller wins a hat, or do you want to do them both together?
No, we can give the third caller a hat and the other one.
Third caller a hat. So you have to call in at 877-480-4120. Third person that calls in with a question wins the hat. And the fifth person that calls in with a question wins the privacy screen. So you won't have people snooping on you. Okay? So let's continue on the conversation. So people can't, because I'm a bit of a snooper when it comes to especially on the train. On the train, people are always on their phones, and you can't help yourself.
Einstein said curiosity is a sign for intelligence.
And some people say curiosity will kill that fucking cat.
Yeah, that might be true as well. Yeah. So yeah, but exactly on planes, trains, subway, a lot of people just by nature look at your screens, and I just don't like the feeling. So the reason why I came up with the idea for mobile phones was less the privacy issue in the first place. I bought a phone that actually broke 4 times in 5 weeks, and a company with a fruit replaced it every single time. With a fruit on it. I didn't want to say the name. So
fruit. The fruit company replaced it.
Yeah, and then so every single time I had to give away the glass that I put on it because the temper glass couldn't be taken off. So every single time I lost $20. I was really upset about it. And I was like, okay, then I can change it, but I can make it better. So I was like, so why don't I do something? Because glass absorbs shock and it distributes over the surface and it cracks. Silicon does the same thing. So I was like, okay, we take silicon, it absorbs the same shock, and it doesn't break, and it's even water repellent. So you can actually take it off. You can wash it with water. And
not like this filthy thing. Oh my God, you can't see. It looks lovely but it's so gross.
Yeah. So, and that's how we came up with the ideas for iPhones and iPads that you have the same effect, that it actually protects your display from impact, and it has a privacy function, and you don't see fingerprints anymore, because a lot of times you have to take all the smoogies from your display, and this one doesn't.
I like the way you say smudges. Smoogies.
Yeah, it's the smoothie. The rest what you have on the
smoogies.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, but I'm a serious peeper. I'm a serious peeper on the subway. And not only will I peep, I'll peep and say, "Oh, that's in." I can't, seriously, I cannot help myself.
I mean, I have seen the most interesting thing people receive on trains, and the interesting part is people don't even know the privacy mode of the Apple Watch. I've seen people getting a picture with somebody who forgot to dress, and the phone was in the pocket, but it pops up on the phone on the watch.
Right.
And I was like, oh, somebody just sent you a picture, and he forgot to dress, and I see it on your watch. And there's a function that basically can just put this thing off.
So what do you think about the various watches? Do you think they're a good idea?
I think if you can use them in the way they design for, then
what are they designed for? I thought it was to get an email.
I think so. There's a lot of back and forth. So it's not a tool that helps you to be healthy, because if you read the manual, it says these heartbeat rate and all this stuff is only 60%, up to 60% correct, because it's not a medical device. It's a device that helps you to do things. I think what it's really good for, and that's a very serious topic because people do not understand long-term consequences of social media. If you look at most of the people that actually using social media, and that's more a medical issue, they're looking down. So if you hold your head straight, you have around about 7 pounds to carry by your spine.
Yes.
The moment you look down all the time, you squeeze your disc and it quadruples the weight. So you're carrying around about 20 to 30 pounds damage to your discs.
Right.
And you don't need to be on the phone all the time to see what's going on. So if you have these watches, I think a lot of times we get either spam emails or text messages that are not important right now and stuff like this. We can look at the watch and we're like, oh, it's not important.
Right.
So next. And I think in this way, it's easier to manage time better and focus on what is really important.
Right. So, so the disc, but there was something you said that, okay, skip that. Menno brain. Okay. So now here's the thing. Hackers. I just want to go back to them for a second.
Okay.
But it's also the hacker marketers, the hacker guys that are, oh, you came into your, you used, did you remember calling HP today? We're just calling about your computer, right? And they're not calling because I didn't call HP.
Right.
And they just want me to go into my computer, press a button, and allow them to come into my computer. So I usually mess with them.
Right.
I usually pretend like my computer's just like, I say, okay, so you want me to press this button? Da, 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 da. And I was, oh, my computer's smoking.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a call? A call on line 1. Who is it?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Oh, it's
Noreen.
Evelyn.
How are
Hi,
you?
Evelyn. How are you?
Hi, Evelyn.
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I am great. So thanks for
Hi,
joining us.
Stefan.
Hi,
I'm calling
Evelyn.
to asking a question. What inspired him to do what he does with the cybersecurity and all the services that he provides?
Great question. What inspires me is just I like to help people, and I like to make the world a safer place. I just dislike, because in school I always had a bully, and for me that's just nothing else than bullying, and I don't like bullies, and that's pretty much what it is. So I think the best way of stopping them is not giving them the ammunition to get after you, and that's for me. I just want to stop certain kind of people, if that makes a little bit sense.
That's excellent. And you also like to protect people.
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else, Evelyn?
That's it. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you so much, Evelyn.
See you Friday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Evelyn.
So in the room, we had talked about, safety, right? Do you think the world will be a safer place with all this technology?
I think the best crime is the one that have never been done. And I think if we can do our living best to educate people how to use technology, maybe after a break we can talk about a little bit about social media and dating apps. I think there is a lot of stuff we can improve and make the world a safer place. I 100% believe in that.
Okay, cool. So do we need to take a break? Okay, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Do you like comic books and movies? How about TV and pop culture? Then you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Michael Dolce, host of Secrets of the Sire. Joined every week by my co-host Hassan, Lord of the Radio Godwin. Together, we have over 15 years experience creating graphic novels, screenplays, and more. Join us as we bring you the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
So, and we're back on Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way. And I am with Stefan Leipold of Stark.
Hi, everybody. Beautiful good evening.
Stark
Inc.biz.
.biz. Yeah, baby. I did it right. So, like I said, if you're the third caller with a question at 877-480-4120, you can win a hat. And if you're the fifth person, you can win a privacy screen. So I won't be able to snoop at your computer and ask you about it. So let's talk about dating apps and social media.
So yeah, you asked me earlier for somebody who just listens in if the world would be a safer place. And I said we want to make it a safer place by educating people. So what I'm telling you right now, it really happens, and it happens a lot. So we all have phones that have greater cameras, higher resolutions, and we all take pictures of us. We give our location out so people can create a pattern. So most of the profiles, they are publicly visible because everybody wants likes and followers. So there was this lady, a model that is from London, and somebody basically social engineered her and went through her pictures, and he created a digital blueprint wherever she is and what she does. And when you take these high resolution pictures, even the videos now, you can actually zoom in. And if you have something, you take a selfie of yourself, it's great. If you have something open on your computer, which maybe is an email, or you have your business card there, your personal information, a lot of people use names on Facebook that are not their own names, which is great. But then if you have your own name there, then you can be even traced with your name or where you are. So this woman was social engineered. She was actually offered a job for a photo shooting, and then she was actually kidnapped, raped, and she was brought to Poland, and she was held as a hostage in the basement as a sex slave. And so by me speaking to universities and whatever private individuals, corporations, I also educate them. I tell them not to trust people. I tell them to be aware what you put out there. And if you have all these pictures, if you run in a certain pattern in your life, you don't need to take every single time the location, and focus on the background, and just be more aware which information you put out there. Because I teach people, if you give me your phone and everything on your phone, you don't want to show somebody on the bus that you don't know, don't put it on your social media. And so when it comes to dating apps, it's the same thing. People give a lot of information away. We social engineered a woman that actually we could figure out within 10 minutes just by having her pictures and her area, that she was a stewardess. She is from Scandinavia, from I think it was Sweden, that her necklace was given to her by her brother, that she loves pizza, and a lot of other things that she didn't know she was actually giving out. And
but how was she giving this stuff out?
In this case, this girl was wearing the necklace every single day before August 15th. She didn't have it. The second part is she had all the locations, and then she had a business card on the table on one of the pictures, and I found her name. So when I Googled her name, I found on another website from SAS, which is an airline, that she's a stewardess. So for me, the point of striking up a conversation was basically that, hey, I just saw you doesn't fit here because you're blonde, blue-eyed. Most of the people here are dark-eyed, dark hair. May I guess that you may be from Scandinavia? And that worked. And then, like, I happen to have noticed your beautiful pendants. It must have a special meaning for you. I know about the pendants. And she was, yeah, it was given by my brother. And I was like, I came just from LA, and it was totally bogus. It was like, but the pizza sucks over there. The pizza in New York, you have to try Joe's Pizza. And then, like, oh yeah, I like pizza so much. And so we basically manipulated the person by basically everything she had on social media, and she gave out. So I wouldn't have known who she is if I wouldn't have found her name. And so I think we should be a little bit more careful of what we put out there, because at the end of the day, people don't know that you have money, but besides that, somebody
I got no money. I got no money.
If somebody wants to steal your money, they also can do physical harm to you.
Can't be a sex slave either. I'm too old.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Not unless they want granny. No, I really hear you. So what would you advise people to do when they take pictures?
Yeah, so if you take selfies, which is great, just don't put personal information on your screen. Sometimes I see people that have their Chase online banking open. I was like, really? Or they take a picture of, hey, I just got this paycheck from my tax return, and it has all the information like social and stuff on there. And people just are not aware that this thing is on the internet, it's everywhere, and
Right.
you can't get it back. So just look at the content and your surroundings before you take a picture
Really
and send it out. So, yeah.
Well, I have to share something with you that what you're talking about, the dating socialite. I was on Bumble, and I shared my phone number with this guy just for a chat. No, you know,
Yeah.
do you know he showed up at my front door?
Yeah, probably.
Like he socially engineered me, and new word for me, and showed up at my front door. Now, fortunately, I have a camera at my front door. So when he said, it's me, Mike, I was like, Mike, hey, right? He was like, Mike. And I remember the only Mike that I spoke today was him. I just like pulled the camera down and that was it. Like ignore, because that was like totally inappropriate. You know, he thought he was that hot that I would like, yeah, come on in. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, but I and then also people can people can look you up through your phone number online.
If it's registered, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can have.
How
a
do you know
phone.
if your phone is registered?
Usually when you sign an agreement, you can actually check the box the same as you can make a driver's license. You have a box that you can say you want to donor, want to be an organ donor. So
Right.
you can actually have your phone number not listed, or you can have it listed. Most of the people don't see the boxes because the representative fills out everything. Just say sign here, because people usually don't read. They just sign.
So, oh my God, there's just so much. How is it going to be a safer world when there's so much to?
Oh, it's just.
Can we just go back to pen and paper? No, I don't want that.
No, I just think it's an educational question. I think when you see kids learn in school now with iPads and all this kind of stuff, they get their homework all done on these iPads, but the schools don't educate kids in how to be safe on the technology. A simple fact that it takes 6 seconds or less to abduct a child. So you see parents running around all the time being on the phone, like 6 seconds. How long did you just type a message to a friend?
Yeah.
And
And the baby's trailing behind.
Yeah, situational awareness is what goes basically lost when people all the time are on the phone, and there are certain things that's actually more important than sometimes to answer a text message.
So who are your favorite companies to work with?
I almost said the ones that pay, but I would say I like companies that think out of the box. I don't believe anymore in this corporate structure that a lot of companies, they're going away from, hey, you're brilliant, you have to wear a suit and that's it. I think.
And you have to come into work.
Right. I think you can do an amazing job by not wearing a suit, because the visual, sure, you should be representative, but if you work in a back office, and a lot of people hire brilliant people and they put them handcuffs on with policies, and you don't hire smart people to break them. So I like companies that are open-minded and like visionaries.
Humanistic.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential even in young people that don't look like they're wearing a suit 24/7 and they're super brilliant.
Right. 2 minutes. So we have 2 minutes. Is there anything that you would like me to ask you so I can do that? What do you love about your life? Because you love your life. You love your life.
I mean, I love my life because every day I wake up and the people I really care about are healthy. That's already all I can ask for. An interesting question, a statement I've gotten in 1998. I will never forget that. I was spoken to a random stranger. I think he was maybe a financial guy on Wall Street. And so we had a chit chat about mobile phones. And he said, best of luck to you. Oh, no, that's what I said. And he said, luck means in this country, labor under correct knowledge. And that's all you can do. A real man makes his own luck.
Labor under
correct knowledge. So a man makes his own luck.
Labor under current knowledge?
No, correct.
Correct knowledge.
Yeah. So labor under correct knowledge and a man makes his own luck. That's what he said.
Absolutely.
And I like it. It was great. So I'm happy every day if everybody I care about is happy, healthy, like a fish in the water, and things that I can change are good. And everything else I can control.
And you care about a lot of people. That I know for an absolute fact. And so nobody won our hat. And nobody won our, but if they send me an email at NoreenSumterCoach.com, or you can send it to www.talkradio.nyc. If you're the third email I get or the fifth email I get, you will get the prize. So I just want to thank you so much for coming onto the show. And I want to say social media hashtag suck. But in communicating with you over the last few weeks, I've really learned a lot, and it's going to get better. So thank you so much. I hope you had a good time. You had fun.
I did. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You're welcome. See you on Friday.
See you on Friday.
All right, guys. So thank you so much. Next week, I will not be here. You'll have a recording, but pretend it's me. So I'll be in Curacao, sitting underneath an umbrella and drinking fizzy water. Talk to you soon. This is Noreen Sumter checking out from Beyond Potential. Live life your way. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.